In the Punjabi city of Amritsar, you see Sikh influence everywhere, including among the traffic cops. The city's most prominent statue is that of Ranjit Singh, the legendary leader of the Sikh Empire that ruled the region in the first half of the 19th century. In fact, on this fine afternoon, I'm on my way to see Ram Bagh Palace and Gardens, Singh's summer home from the 1830s that's ostensibly a shrine of national importance. And even though I have an idea about what to expect, I'm not prepared for what I find.
From the once upon a time beautiful gardens around this place, the mansion, which you can see over my shoulder, was truly splendorous. 2 stories, elaborately adorned, exquisitely decorated as a summer home for the leader of the Sikhs. It was a marvelous place with its own hammam at the one side of the mansion, with a beautiful pool inside. But those were the glory days. If you read about this place in guidebooks or look at articles about it online, you'll see references to the grounds being in disrepair, or I may say the grounds are sadly in need of maintenance. It's sort of code for a better word, and that's dereliction. After the death of the Maharaja and the subsequent collapse of the Sikh Empire, this property was taken over by the British. They even gave it a new name. They called it Company Bagh, as if it were some sort of fort. They ended up leasing it to 3 elite British social clubs, which continued to operate the grounds long after India became a republic. And even though the government has years ago proclaimed these grounds as a historic landmark, there's continued to be a dispute with these clubs over attempts to oust them from their leasehold properties on the grounds. As the clubs and the government have fought for years in the courts over the attempts to get rid of them, nothing has happened here. This fabulous former garden, the mansion of the Maharaja, and assorted other impressive buildings on the ground have essentially been left to rot, which is not only sad, but it's rather telling about post-colonial India and the lingering effects of that colonialism.
To be honest, when I arrived, I assumed the mansion itself was closed because nobody was around. And then I stumbled on Korji, who turned out to be the attendant on duty and who let me go inside.
He's allowing me to come inside and take a look, although he's told me I can't shoot very much video here. Could you just basically tell me what's still here?
This is a museum for Maharaja, related to Maharaja Ranjit Singh and related to that weapons used for Maharaja Ranjit Singh army. This is the residence of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Summer place of Maharaja Ranjit Singh.
His personal quarters are here upstairs. Will I be able to see that?
Yes.
Okay, great, let's go.
There's a stark contrast between the mansion's well-preserved interior and the dilapidated grounds that surround it. And then in an upstairs hall, atop a large table, there it is, a scaled vision of the palace and grounds, which in 1831 Singh chose to name not for himself, but for Ram Das, the fourth guru of the Sikh religion, hence Ram Bagh, or palace.
Many people come here, this museum, and appreciate the implies of this museum. And it's a beautiful museum.
It is a beautiful museum.
Yes.
The building is so lovely inside,
Yes.
and is so well kept, but outside it looks like it's been left unattended for years. Do you know why?
No, sir, actually don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
It's his way of telling me he isn't authorized to speak about such matters.
So this is the hammam, the Turkish bath, if you will. It was here, built here, for the pleasure of the Maharaja and his guests. It is said to contain a beautiful pool, in addition to the spas, but as you can see, it's not available. It's not open to the public. Poking my lens up to that screen door, but there's not really anything that you can see from the outside. This place is an enigma, and I realize there are probably many enigmas in modern day India, but considering the obvious one-time glory of this place and looking inside at this marvelous mansion, which is very well kept, of course, as you saw, it's really disheartening to see these beautiful grounds laid waste without any apparent maintenance, maybe in years. But you can imagine the splendor of the place at one time. Just the wonderful old trees that still exist. There's some that need to be taken down, and then where just garbage and weeds, dead vegetation all around exists today. You can imagine beautiful lawns. And as you may have seen when we were inside the mansion, on each of the four approaches to the mansion, including the one I'm walking along at the moment, were accented with water features. And of course, as I'll show you now, those once beautiful water features are nothing more than gutters. Hello, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good? Yeah.
कहाँ से हो?
I'm sorry, I don't
What do you
understand
live? What do you
Hindi.
live?
I live in the United States.
अच्छा.
Yeah. Nice to meet you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So of course people are curious about me in this neighborhood. You heard Korji, the guide, say that the place gets a lot of visitors. I'm not so sure of his definition of a lot. I'm inside a beautiful building, one of several impressive structures away from the center of the garden, which is to say, away from the mansion. I have no idea what it was used for, but you see the very delicate Sikh Empire architectural style with the ruffled arches, similar to ones that you find at the Golden Temple. Again, you're just struck by how grand this place must have been during its heyday, with waterways on each side of the promenade that I'm walking on, that is former waterways. There's nothing here now but debris, dead leaves, all manner of detritus filling what were once, I'm sure, flowing pools. In a strange sort of way, its sad state of affairs makes it even more interesting to a person like me who comes here and there's not a tourist in sight. There are only local people who use this as a walk-through park. It's just quite amazing.
Then again, who knows? Maybe the Maharaja would enjoy seeing teenagers playing cricket on what was once the royal lawn.
Yeah, one match. Defeat. This match. Yeah.
And little boys feeding pigeons next to what remains of the palace wall.
Yes.